coach. And so today I want to give you some tips on setting your goals for the new year. And I am specifically talking to new actors. If you've been acting for less than 3 years, this video is just for you. So let's start. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. As I said, my name is Lydia Nicole. And so I didn't grow up in Hollywood. I actually grew up on the border of Harlem, in Spanish Harlem, on the wrong side of the tracks. And I was surrounded by people whose dreams were limited by their struggle to survive. I came from a chaotic household. My mother was a prostitute. My father was a pimp, a loan shark, and a number runner. And the only famous people that I knew when I was growing up were all criminals. That's who I know. And nobody in my neighborhood encouraged me to be an actress. And nobody in my neighborhood shared dreams with me, made me, like encouraged me to dream. But I was that kid that was always dreaming big. At 5 years old, I knew I wanted to be an actor. And as I got older, a little older, I started dreaming of being a movie star. I wanted to go to Hollywood. I would see the planes going by, and I would share with anybody that was in the street, I'm going to go to Hollywood. There's my plane. I wanted to meet the people that I saw on TV and that I looked at in the magazines. I had no idea how I was going to make it happen, but my why, I wanted it really bad. It was big in me. And at about 12 years old, I discovered teen magazines. So I would go every month to a newsstand, and I would get my updated magazine, and I would take it home and I would rip out the color pages of the celebrities, the musicians, the singers, and I would plaster them on my wall, put scotch tape and just put them on my wall. And at that age, I was starting to do vision boards. I didn't know that's what they were, but I would put my picture with the picture of the actor or the famous person that I wanted to meet. And I would start talking to them. Like, I was having these full-blown conversations with them. And at 13, I used to listen to a disc jockey in New York named Frankie Crocker. And I loved Frankie Crocker. I felt like he was talking to me personally. So I decided that I needed to go meet Frankie Crocker because he needed to know me, okay? Not that I wanted to meet him to know him, but he needed to know me. And so I got a t-shirt, got a black t-shirt, large, and I wrote Frankie Hollywood Crocker on it in rhinestones. Back in the day, that was the thing, to bling out your clothing with rhinestones. So I did. I got the address to the station. I went down to the station and I waited for Frankie Crocker. And I got to meet him. Not only did I get to meet him, but I ended up working at that radio station for 5 years, from the age of 13 to the age of 18. And my dream, as I said earlier, was to go to Hollywood. So at 18, I came to Hollywood with 2 suitcases, one full of my plays and acting books and the other one with clothes. I didn't really know anybody, but I started figuring it out. And one of the things that I was doing from the time I was 13 was I was setting goals for myself. I started setting goals. So when I came to Los Angeles, I continued to set goals. Why am I telling you this? Because goal setting is crucial. Goals are not cute, they're not trendy, but they actually will save your life if you do it right. Goals can change your direction. They can interrupt generational patterns. They can take you from where you were born to where you belong. I tell you that because it has served me well. I have been in the business for 50 some years. And I've been in acting for over 40 some years. So, but I've been able to maintain a long career in the industry because I've always had goals. I set goals every year. And the last couple of years, I've learned to set my goals quarterly, not just yearly, which has really changed a lot for me. I mean, it has changed my life on a whole nother level. So let's talk about you and how not to set booking goals for the new year, but set preparation goals. Why? Most actors, especially new actors, are setting goals like, I want to book a co-star this year. I want to book a movie. That's nice, but you can't control casting outcomes. You have no control in that matter. But what you do have control is in your training, your self-tapes, your networking, and your marketing materials. Okay? So instead of saying, I want to book a co-star, switch that to, I want to complete 30 high quality self tapes and submit weekly for co-starring roles. That you have control over. That is a powerful way to apply yourself in your career this coming year. Actors who set goals around preparation grow faster than actors who chase outcomes. And I know because I've done both. And when I've tried to chase the outcome, I got nothing. But when I focused on my preparation, what can I do? What do I have control over? Boy, things opened up for me in beautiful ways, and they continue to do so. So the other thing I want to share with you is that as you are starting your journey, instead of setting goals once a year, do it every 90 days. Think quarterly. So you're going to do new goals every 3 months. You can, at the beginning of the year, what you can do is write out 12 goals. And then every 90 days, you can take 3 of those goals and start working on them. 3 times 4 is 12. So you're going to have your goals, but you'll get to them quicker. And it's most effective to help you so you don't drop anything. Because if you are working on 3 goals for 3 months and you are diligent, you are going to get them. As opposed to, I got all these goals and then you don't do any because you get so frustrated, you just stop. We don't want that. So every 90 days, you should start reviewing your headshots. Are they working for you? Are those headshots selling you? Do you have the right headshots? If you do comedy, then you should not have a dramatic headshot. If you do drama, you shouldn't have a goofy comedy headshot. You want your headshots to match what it is that you are selling at the moment. You also want to review your reel. What kind of clips do you have in your reel? And does it represent what it is that you sell? You know, a lot of times, especially new actors, think that they could do everything. No, you can't. Even if you can, you're not going to get booked by the industry for everything. They're going to look at you and go, "Oh, you would be the teenage lead, or you would be the friend of the teenage lead, or you would be the model." They're going to put you in a box. So if you can put yourself in a box, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but really a niche down on what it is that you are selling, you will get a lot of work. Take it from me, because I did that, and I was always working when I just focused on that one thing. I played the bad kid, the tough kid. I played the victim. I played the smart aleck, but I did it in different seasons. So my picture and resume reflected that. Also, you want to update your casting profiles every 3 months. Update them. Make sure that they're current. Make sure that you have your current reels on your casting profiles. Make sure you have your current headshots. Make sure that your social media looks good. Don't make it, because the industry is going to social media to see who you are. So you want to make sure that's up to date, and you also want to make sure that you have a membership for IMDb Pro. You got to have a membership with your picture and your resume and your contact information, because most industry people are going to go look for you on IMDb Pro. If you're a professional, you should be up on IMDb Pro. If you want to be a professional, you should be up on IMDb Pro, and that means you got to have a membership. Also, you want to make sure that you are taking classes, you are training, you are looking for what it is that you think you could do. If you're good at dance, then you should be taking some dance classes. If you're good at comedy, you should be either taking comedy classes or maybe going to open mics at comedy clubs or rooms that have open mics, so that you are polishing your craft. So if I'm setting a quarterly goal for my skills, my goal may be improving my comedy reel by adding a new 30-second scene before the end of the month, or update my headshot with a role specific look. Instead of, a lot of times young actors, new actors will get an agent, and they'll give you a list of looks to get. Well, that's nice, but if you have too many looks that you are giving them, you don't know what they're sending you out for, and you don't know what picture it is, and it gets confusing, and you go and look in one way and they have a picture of you looking another way. But if you know what you sell, right, and you're specific in that, then you don't have to give 20 different looks. You go, this is what I'm selling. This is what I can hit outside the park, and just focus on that. It's better to just have 2 headshots that really represent you than 10 that it's hit and miss. You may get an audition, you may get a self-tape to do, but you're not going to get the call back. Another thing for you, new actor, is to set visibility goals, not just skill goals. So we want both, not one or the other, but you got to start setting visibility goals. The industry can't hire you if they don't see you, if they don't know you. How are they going to hire you? How are they going to call you in? So you should have goals like attend 2 workshops a month or 3 workshops a month. Send 4 introduction emails to casting offices every quarter. I love having target lists of casting directors I want to go in and read for. How do I know who the casting directors are? I look at what shows I think I would be right for, and then I get the names of those casting directors. They go on my target list. I am sending them updates every few months. Maybe it's a postcard, maybe it's a link, but I am reaching out to them monthly. And I may have 10 people on my target list as far as casting. Maybe it's the casting assistant, the casting associate, maybe it's the head of casting, but I am focused. So that really helps you with visibility goals. Another thing you want to do is make sure you're posting acting related reels. So I would post a new monologue that you've done in class and you've nailed it. Shoot that bad boy and then put it up. I just did a monologue from in the Boom Boom Room, and you put it up. I just did a monologue from what's another whatever. But you're posting little videos of you doing work, not auditions, because that can get you in trouble. I would not post auditions unless you book the audition. Then you can post your audition. But I definitely would post scenes that you've done in class that you can now shoot it, and just put it up and share with your social media followers. I would also suggest part of your visibility goal is to pick an acting community to join or a group where actors are, because when you get together with actors, and if it's a good group, a supportive group, I'm not saying get into any group, you want a group where people are moving forward. And maybe it's not even a acting community or in a group, but maybe it's an acting class where actors are working. That will really help you. So that is a part of your visibility goals for you to start looking at. Visibility does not mean you're thirsty. Visibility says you have a strategy and you're going forward. Actors who show up are actors who get remembered. Remember that. That's a keeper. And then you want to establish a couple of stretch goals. They may feel mildly delusional, but they make you move quicker. Because if you're just playing it safe, you stay in the background. We want our career to go forward. We want to do stuff. So a stretch goal, it forces growth. Let's say, so for the next 3 months, my goal is to get representation. So I'm going to bust my butt. I'm going to reach out to agents. I'm going to go to my IMDb Pro that I've just paid a subscription for. I'm going to check what agencies have actors that are similar types to me, because if they are theatrical agents, then I don't want to have anybody that's similar to me with that agency, because that's not good. I want to be the only one of that type at a theatrical agency. But if it's for commercials, I don't care how many actors they have that are similar to me. That's okay. I'm going to submit for them. So just be mindful of that. And then maybe another stretch goal is I want to film a short. I'm going to write a little short. I'm going to film it in the next 2 quarters. That's a stretch goal. You've never done this before. So now you're doing it, and you're going to learn a lot from just taking that challenge on. Another stretch goal would be I'm going to audition in the next 3 months for a major episodic series. That's a stretch goal. Impossible goals don't intimidate champions, they activate them. Remember that. Actors who let themselves dream big become artists who take bold actions. And so we don't want to wait to be motivated. We want to take action. In taking the action, you are motivated. When I take action, I get fired up. When I'm waiting for motivation to hit me, I'm paralyzed. Because motivation, a lot of us, we think, oh my God, well, I'll do it when I get motivated. No, just take the action. Just take a step. Do it. Submit your picture and resume to a casting director who's doing a show that you think you would be right for. Just do it. Take action. You want to build goals around skills the industry actually values. So not all training is created equal, and not all skills get you hired. You might say, well, I'm going to take an acting class this month. Something I want to sidebar here and just say something. A lot of new actors think that free is better and cheap is better. New actor, you must start investing in yourself. And in the beginning, it's going to cost you. Think of it this way. Acting is a career just like being a doctor is a career. People who get into medicine invest in their career. They go to college, they go to med school, they may even do extra they may even do a PhD, but they are investing in themselves and in their career. I don't know what it is, but a lot of times actors think you don't have to invest, and then you get mad because they're asking you to pay money. Well, acting has a very high reward if you do it right. But you can't come into business thinking, I'm going to take these headshots that are $100 and they look like crap. You wasted $100 and now you still don't have a good headshot. Save your money. Find a photographer who really takes excellent pictures. And make sure that the photographer isn't a cookie cutter photographer. And what I mean by that is there are photographers that when you see their pictures, they're all the same. When you look at a photographer's headshots of actors, every time I look at the actors, I should see who that actor is, not go, oh, Jimmy Blue did those photographs. I can tell because it's his style. We don't want to publicize the photographer. We want to publicize ourselves with those pictures. We want, when those headshots come through the casting director's desk, that they see you. They go, oh my God, Lydia Nicole, I'm going to call her in. Not, oh, that's an interesting shot, and then move it away because it's not selling who you are. So I want you to remember, acting in the beginning is going to cost. And even when you get older, even when you've been in the business for a while, it still costs. You want to take great headshots. You want to be in the best acting class, not just an acting class. Well, I'm taking this acting class because my church is doing it. And, I pay $25 for the month and I can take the class. No. You want to take acting classes with professional teachers who the industry respects. So when they see your resume and they go, oh my God, she studied with Ivana Chubbuck. She studied with Roy London. She studied with Margie Haber. They're going to call you in because they know that you are equipped because you've studied with these fantastic people who only turn out great actors. So just invest in yourself, actor. So, okay, I'll go back to working around the skills that the industry actually values, right? So smart actors set goals like mastering your co-reading. You're taking a good on-camera class. You are getting coached when you have self-tapes to do. When your agent calls you, or you're going through backstage or one of the casting sites and you see a role that you might be right for, get coached on it. If you are in an acting class, have your teacher coach you. It'll cost you a little bit more money, but I'd rather spend $75 getting coached so that I am better prepared for that role, and it almost guarantees me a callback. I have no control over booking the job, but if I show up every audition or every time my co-reading comes in front of casting and my stuff is on point, I'm going to get put on a list that they're going to call me regularly because they go, Lydia can deliver. Okay? So I want you to start thinking bigger. Start thinking as you're dreaming of what you want. Also start thinking about the kind of investment it takes to be in that A category of actors. You also want to learn lighting and framing for your self-tape. And you want to maybe dedicate one section of your room or your home where you set up the camera, you set up your tripod, and that's where you record from. You also want to think in terms of studying special skills like dialects or stunts or dance or improv, something that the industry values, or singing. And you want to make sure that you're taking maybe an Alexander Technique class regularly, or a voice and breathing class for your emotional work. So here's a secret: your skills are part of your marketing. Every skill you sharpen widens the door for casting to see you as castable. And that's what we want as actors. We want to be castable. We want, when a role comes in that fits us, we are called immediately. Um, uh, when I was acting regularly, and I'm telling you stuff that I've done that I know works, with my goal setting, which I am doing a workshop for new actors, December 27th and January 3rd. So you can go to actingsmarter.com/workshop and sign up. So that is December 27th and January 3rd from 12 to 3. I'll give you a lot more tips and secrets to help you have the breakout year that you are saying that you want. So I was going to say something. Okay, let's go on. So your acting career is a marathon. I want you to think of that, because right now you're I just got to get a job. No, you don't want to get a job. You want to get the right job. Think of it as foundation. You are starting to lay the foundation down in your acting. You want to make sure that foundation is solid. It's not just about getting an acting job. I see this online all the time. Book an acting job. No, you don't want to book an acting job. You want to book the acting job that aligns with who you are, because if you're doing that, you're going to start moving up quickly. People are going to start to notice you. But if you're just doing an acting job here, an acting job there, it's not sticky. People aren't going to know who you are, because you're changing all the time. You want to start growing so that you're the one people call when they want a specific type. So goal setting is the fuel that keeps the engine hot. So you're always setting goals. You're always putting yourself out there. And actors who set strategic, specific, consistent goals build their careers to last. Actors who don't get stuck in hope mode. And hope is lovely, but it is not a business strategy. Oh, I hope I get it. No, if you've done your work, you're going to at least get a call back. If you have done your work and you are right for the role, you are going to at least get a call back. If not, get on avail and book the work. So you want your stuff, you want your goals to be specific, to be strategic and consistent, to help your career grow. And you also want, so this is the other thing I want to share with you. You want to break your big goals into 4 core actor categories. So number 1 is preparation goals. That is your infrastructure actor. These are the items casting directors, agents look for all the time. They are reviewing this. That is your updated resume, your updated headshot that looks like you, that sells what it is that you sell. A lot of times actors take these gorgeous pictures, but that is not what they sell. So you want to take a picture that really looks like you. You want to make sure that you're filming new scenes every month. Film a new scene, 1. All you got to do is film 1. If you film 1 scene a month, that's 12 scenes you have for the year that align with what it is that you do specifically. You also want to organize your casting files, your actor access, your backstage, your casting networks, and your IMDb Pro. You want to make sure they are up to date. You also want to optimize your social media and making sure that your bio is consistent and your branding, and make sure that you're putting stuff into your into your social media that highlights you, that makes you look like you are successful. Even if you're not booking, you want it to look like, oh my God. So if a casting director looks at that page, at your social media page, be it TikTok, be it Instagram, be it Facebook, be it LinkedIn, that they go, oh my God, let me call Lydia Nicole in because she looks like she's about something. These sections, these pillars are going to make you look castable and market ready. So again, we're going back to the visibility goals. You want to make sure that you're submitting for projects every week. You want to make sure you're attending workshops or taking classes regularly. I'm a big believer to, do a workshop, go to a lecture, just be around the industry, get into a organization. If you're Latino, you should maybe have a membership for Nosotros or NALIP. If you're a Black actor, you should be part of the NAACP's Image Awards section. So you're meeting industry people. The industry is very small, and these particular organizations is where industry comes. So you want to be where the industry goes. I know there are a lot of Facebook groups out there for actors, but not all of them are equal. So you want to make sure that you are where success is, not where people are complaining or whining or, are just confused, because that just it is contagious. If you're hanging around people who are whining and complaining, you will start whining and complaining. And you want to post weekly something that's acting related. You want to be able to submit, you want to email casting offices on the regular every week. You want to send a casting director something. You want to, so you want to be able to start putting yourself out there in the industry. The industry hires actors they can see, not actors who sit quietly waiting for magic to happen, or the hope, I'm hoping they'll call me. Well, do they know you? Have you put in the work to get industry to know you? And if you haven't, then you have to. And then focus on skill building, sharpening your instruments, taking different classes. Maybe you're taking a scene study, then maybe and here's something, when you're taking scene study class, I suggest you stay in that class for a minimum of a year. If you have found a class that you connect with, that you like the teacher, and they have a name that the industry is going to respect, stay there at least a year, because it takes about 4 months being in a class for you to really understand what the technique is that they're teaching. And it takes about a year for you to really start to take off. So I know actors like to jump around. I'm going to take this class. It's for 6 weeks, and then I'm going to go to another place and take their class for 4 weeks. And then no, stay with one teacher for a minimum of a year, because then they get to know you. They get to know what your habits are. They can help you better. You can get coached by them. There is so many rewards that you get from being in an acting class for a long period of time. So I don't think, most of my acting classes I have been a minimum of 2 years, because I see the value of it. I mean, and one of my classes, I was there for 9 years. I only left because my teacher died, but was there for the whole time. So I want you to really start thinking about how are you sharpening your tools? What are you doing? Maybe you're taking a special skill like boxing, dancing, learning different dialects, singing, voiceover. What skills? This again is valuable to the industry. They're going to call you in if they see these certain skills on your resume. skill building prevents stagnation and it builds castability. Remember that. And then the last thing I want to talk to you about is having mindset and habit goals. It's mental. A lot of the acting, although we're in the emotional, is mental. Because if we're blocked, we can't get to the emotion. If we're mentally blocked, we can't get to the emotion. So I would say that you think about, maybe after you do your self tape or your auditions, to journal 10 minutes after the auditions. Just journal everything that happened to you emotionally, so you can get it out of you. If there was fear, write it down so you can then start to correct that. Maybe you're doing daily confidence reps, like affirmations or visualizations or breath work, or just exercises. And then track your auditions. And I had these auditions, I had these self tapes. Put next to it, what did you learn from that? What did you learn from that particular self tape? What did you learn from doing that audition? What did you learn from having that callback? We're learning stuff. If we're paying attention, if we're present in the room, we are learning things all the time. And by keeping a journal and writing it down, you can refer back to it, use it for your acting. So I am thinking, when I first started and I would have dramatic things happen to me, my brain would go, remember that, so you could use it for acting. So I say to you, remember all the emotional stuff you're going through. Write it down, put it in a little book so you can recall it, so you can, do it in a scene. And celebrate your weekly wins. Really important. No matter how small they are, celebrate them. I sent my picture and resume to 3 agents this week. Bravo, bravo, you took action. Celebrate it. Practice resilience training. We don't talk about this enough, but in this business, you're going to get a lot of no's. And how do you get past the no's? By not taking them personally, but instead of seeing like, oh my God, I went on 4 auditions. I was lucky enough to go on 4 auditions, but I did not get a call back for any of them. So I was lucky and I got to go on 4 auditions. That's 4 more auditions. That means the casting director saw me, and maybe the director saw me. That's a win. Look at the wins. Be grateful. Walk in gratitude. That's part of practicing your resilience training. I got to do this. Instead of I have to do this, I get to do this. I get to live my dream of being an actor. Oh my God, that is so good. Your mindset will determine your longevity in the business, and longevity determines your success in the business. So we gotta work on our mindset. We gotta keep our minds going. I'm a big believer in, I love YouTube videos, the good ones that encourage me when I first wake up. Sometimes I'm looking at my own videos. If you go to Lydia Nicole Live on YouTube, I have about 900 videos that I have done for actors. So sometimes those videos are encouraging me. They're reminding me, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, I had a moment. I had a weak moment, but I'm back now. I was getting ready to whine and complain, have some cheese with that wine, but now I'm back, baby. I'm back. So, and then I want to talk to you about turning each category into a weekly action step, right? So going from vibes to results. We're not just, I'm not vibing thing. I'm taking action so I can have results. So maybe I am doing weekly prep for auditions. I'm updating my resume. I've edited my old reels. I've updated my reels. I've taken a new headshot, or maybe I took a couple of headshots, new headshots, or I'm alternating some headshots from my shoot my headshot shoot that I did 2 months ago. So you are constantly updating and evolving. You're keeping your stuff fresh. You're submitting for maybe let's see, 12 roles for the month. So that means you're submitting for 3 roles every week. That's great. You're attending a workshop. You are acting. You are uploading little acting reels on your social media. You're practicing cold reading for 30 minutes every day, every other day. You're playing with your CapCut so you can learn how to edit your self tapes better. You're doing some kind of weekly training for 2 hours every week, right? You're doing some kind of acting training 2 hours every week. You're reviewing. This is really important when you're setting goals. You want to review them weekly, and then review what did I accomplish? What do I want to accomplish? And when you set, like, I accomplished this, you put it on a list, so that when you're feeling defeated, you can go, oh man, the last 2 months, look at all that I accomplished. It really does help you. It does motivate you. It does stir you up because you're reminded of what you've done. And a lot of times we're so busy that we forget we've had wins, and then we get into our emotions. Well, I haven't done anything lately. No, yes you have. Yes you have. So I want you to start thinking about that. I also want you to read 1 chapter a week of a top acting book, so you can see what the different acting techniques are. You should have the top 10 acting books in your library, and read a chapter. You should have Uta Hagen, Ivana Chubbuck, Margie Haber, Larry Moss. You should have Stanislavski. You should have the top teachers, their technique books in your library, and read it so you can start getting it in you. You should also do maybe a 3 to 5 minute meditation before you do your auditions, before you do your self-tape, so you can start practicing being present, and not in your head, but being present. And then you want to continue, we talked about this already, to have a couple of stretch goals to keep yourself going. You could have some goals that are not so intense, but you got to have at least one impossible goal that you're going for every month. Just keep going for it. It's like you keep going for it. You keep going for it, and be consistent. Keep going. Be consistent. Be dedicated. Practice your professionalism. Practice showing up on time. If you're supposed to have your self-tape in by it's Thursday, and you're supposed to have it in by Saturday, have it in by Thursday night, so you are ahead of everybody else. Instead of waiting for the last minute to get things done, start practicing being early. Be early to what it is that you have to do. So again, set yourself up to win this next year by setting your goals that are consistent, they are specific, and you have strategy attached to them. And if you want help, again, I am doing an acting goals workshop for new actors on December 27th and January 3rd from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. And you can go to actingsmarternow.com/workshop. 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 I hope that this has helped you. I look forward to seeing you at the workshop if you really want to grow and have your breakthrough year. My workshop will definitely help you a lot. Why do I know this? Because it has helped me. So Can't wait to see you. And if you want more encouragement, more inspiration, more motivation, more training, you can also go to my YouTube channel, Lydia Nicole Live. I have over 900 videos for actors. It will greatly bless you. Until next time, see ya.